My mom said I dressed too casually, so I wore a wedding dress to her birthday dinner. So my mom Bethany has this thing where she delivers these fashion critiques wrapped in concern that land like little punches to the gut. She'd be like, "Oh honey, did you just roll out of bed?" Or, "You know they make clothes without holes in them, right?" I usually just ignored it because my dad would tell me she just wants me to look nice. But last month was the breaking point. We were at my cousin's graduation party and I showed up in my favorite jeans and a comfortable sweater. Mom took one look at me and announced to the whole room, "Well, at least you're consistent with the homeless chic look." Then she turned to my aunt and said, "I don't know where I went wrong. Sarah always looks so put together." I felt my face burning, but I just grabbed a drink and found a corner to hide in. During the party, she kept making these comments about how important first impressions are and how you never know who you might meet. She even pulled up photos on her phone of my cousin's outfits saying, "See, this is how a young woman should present herself." That night I told my sister about it and she said mom had been telling people I was going through some kind of quarter-life crisis. Apparently she'd been saying I dress like a teenager because I can't accept adulthood. I realized she was never going to stop, so I started planning. Mom's 60th birthday was coming up in 3 weeks. She'd been planning this fancy dinner at her favorite restaurant for months, inviting all her book club friends and her judgmental sister Patty. She sent a group text emphasizing that everyone should dress appropriately for the occasion, then added, "And Jessica, please try to look nice for once." That's when I got the idea. I remembered how she always said, "You can never be overdressed, only underdressed," and it's better to be the best dressed person in the room than the worst. I went to 3 different thrift stores before I found it. This gorgeous vintage wedding dress complete with a cathedral-length train and delicate lace sleeves. It cost me $200, but it was perfect. I bought a veil white gloves and even borrowed my friend's old wedding shoes. The whole ensemble screamed bridal elegance. I told everyone I was excited to dress up for mom's special day. She seemed pleased and even sent me photos of what my cousins were wearing as inspiration. She had no idea what was coming. The night of her birthday, I spent 3 hours getting ready. I did my makeup like I was about to walk down the aisle and styled my hair in an elaborate updo. When I looked in the mirror, I looked like I should be saying I do, not happy birthday. I arrived at the restaurant 20 minutes late to make sure everyone was already seated. The hostess looked confused when I swept in, but I just said I was with the birthday party. The entire restaurant went silent as I made my entrance. My train dragged behind me and my veil fluttered as I walked. Mom's face was incredible. Her eyes went wide, then narrow, then wide again like she was trying to process what she was seeing. The entire table of her friends just stared with their mouths open. Aunt Patty actually dropped her fork. "Happy birthday, Mom," I said, giving her a huge hug. "You always tell me to put more effort into my appearance, so I really went all out for your special day." She couldn't say anything negative without looking terrible in front of her friends. I had to squeeze into my chair and my dress took up so much space the waiter had to move an entire table. Throughout dinner, people kept asking if I'd just gotten married or was going to a wedding after. I just smiled and said, "No, I just wanted to look nice for my mom. She's always encouraging me to dress up more." Mom tried to recover during her toast, making a pointed comment about how some people understand appropriate attire for different occasions while staring directly at me. So I stood up and made my own toast, thanking her for years of fashion advice and saying her constant encouragement to dress better had finally inspired me to put in real effort. My dad was trying not to laugh. My sister was recording everything on her phone. And Mom's book club friends actually complimented my commitment to formal wear, saying they wished their daughters cared that much about looking nice. After that night, Mom never commented on my clothes again. I showed up to the next family dinner in ripped jeans and a band t-shirt and she didn't say a word.